Imagine you have a house which you can call your own. How does that make you feel? Owning your own home makes you feel good as you have a space that is truly yours. Glad to have you join me on Housing Development Program today. I am Flora Ani, your housing diva, your host as usual. The desire for a decent home is every household's dream. It is the single largest investment most families will make and an asset we generally appreciate in value. Just as in industrialized countries, building or buying a home in a developing country grows the wealth of a family and helps build a more equitable distribution of wealth. Before we begin the program as usual, let's bring you up to speed on the happenings in the housing sector. I'll be back shortly.
The Cooperative Mortgage Bank has commended the federal government for approving 2 billion naira for the Cooperative Social Housing Scheme to address the housing deficit in the country. Mr. Kabir Tukur, Managing Director of CMB, said the initiative would enable low-income earners to own houses and offer upgrade funding to cooperators to upgrade their houses, adding that the initiative was a collaboration between the federal government and the Cooperative Federation of Nigeria. Tukur announced that more than 10,000 cooperators had so far benefited from the over 300,000 units of affordable houses promised by the federal government under the President Muhammadu Buhari's Economic Sustainability Plan across the 36 states and Federal Capital Territory. As part of sustained efforts towards improving the construction sector in the country, the Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, has called for linkages between professional surveyors in government ministries, departments and agencies, as well as the private sector to enhance their roles in the society. The minister, who assured the delegation of the ministry support towards the successful hosting of the 2021 annual meeting of the institution be to hold in Abuja, advised the management of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors to sensitize other government and non-governmental institutions on how surveying can assist in infrastructural development. President of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors, Charles David Charles, who disclosed the theme for the annual meeting, said they were in the ministry to invite the minister as the chief host of the forthcoming annual general meeting, which will create opportunities for all stakeholders in the geospatial industry to showcase latest developments in knowledge. Despite the shock of rapaging COVID-19 pandemic, Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank has posted an impressive financial records. As a result of the bank's performance, its shareholders have approved a dividend of 4 kobo per ordinary share at the 15th annual general meeting held at the bank's headquarters in Abuja, with shareholders joining through virtual platforms. Chairman of the bank's board, Dr. Adenika Bibilari, an engineer, and the managing director, CEO, Dr. Olabanjo Obaleye, says the mortgage bank achieved impressive financial results in spite of the hostile challenges of COVID-19 pandemic, commended the board and the management for their collective efforts towards the giant strides of the bank. The board also approved the appointment of 2 non-executive directors, Mrs. Abisola Obaleye, Mrs. Nkechi Bibilari, and an executive director, Sunday Olumorin. And on the foreign scene, British house prices rose at the fastest annual rate in nearly 14 years in March, when Finance Minister Rishi Sunak announced the extension of pandemic emergency tax cuts and other support for home buyers. Other surveys have also shown the tax cut and mortgage guarantee scheme for first-time buyers stoked a sharp surge in activity of the housing market, which began after the first coronavirus pandemic was lifted last year, as many Britons have sought to buy larger houses with gardens in less urban locations as they work more from home. The ONS said prices of detached houses rose by 11.7% in the year to March, compared with the increase of 5.0% for flats and maisonettes. Meanwhile, London again saw the weakest gain in house prices among all of the United Kingdom's regions, with a 3.7% increase in the year to March. By contrast, prices in Yorkshire and the Humber regions jumped by 14%.
You're watching Housing Development. That was the news update. For more housing stories, do well to visit www.africanhousingnews.com. Almost about 65% of Nigerians are renters, and that number keeps growing. But the ability of some renters to make their properties feel like home can be restricted by the condition put on the property by the landlords. So many tenants relate easily to this question. What are the craziest rules renters have been given by landlords? Let's find out on Voices on the Streets.
Not to me directly. I think it happened to one of my friends. I went to visit her and she came out and met me and like, I cannot enter. I don't understand. Why can't I enter you? I said, the landlord said, as a female, you can't invite a male friend to your house. That you have to go and, because you have to go and meet somewhere else. I said, like, seriously? And I think that happened to one of my friends, to a guy. In the house, you can't invite a female friend. I think that is the most weirdest rule I've ever seen so far.
I've lived in a compound where I lived with landlord before. One of the widest rules that I have ever heard from a landlord, one is the landlord I previously stayed with have this rule that you must not come to the compound beyond 10 o'clock. That's 10 p.m. at night. So most times you find it very difficult when you have other things that is keeping you outside and beyond 10 o'clock, you find you cannot come into the compound because the gate is locked. Then I've also have a landlord who told me that I cannot live with more than 2 persons in my room. And for me, it was a weird thing. I was like, I paid for this place, so why can't I stay with whoever I want to stay with? And the man said, you can only stay 2 in the house. And in that same house, the landlord also told me that I cannot have my activity within the compound, that if I am having a celebration which I need to invite people, that I need to throw it outside the compound. That his compound is not a place where touts and whoever can come in. So for me, it's another another thing that I've also seen from landlord that is unbelievable.
Landlord me don't chook my guy yan. Even when I never finish, they tell us me pay house rent. Couple say the country not even balance, so we'll come up for this pandemic. Everybody hide the red. If not, be say the country not there alright. Normally, with the crisis, pandemic will shock the whole world. Nobody supposed to collect shish for anything and that. But I can't get to my surprise say rent never even finish. But they try look for something where they go put for belly. Landlord don't they chase my brother out. Happened to me. My landlord a correct guy. No, that one a very understanding woman.
My landlord told me then when I was serving Abia State that I can have just one roommate. I can't have any other person sleep over or any other thing. Just a roommate, me and my roommate.
There you have it, Voices on the Street. Some landlords and landladies can be so frustrating with their weird rules and regulations to tenants. From the landlord who will tell you can have family or friends stay over, to those who will insist no one must visit you, and those who will turn to accurate timekeepers and monitor your every movement. Inasmuch as we talk about landlords, some terrible tenants can make your job as a landlord tough. Some constitute nuisance to other neighbors, while some are careless and damage your property. Most property owners also face the hassles of dealing with difficult tenants at some point, and it is not easy. I'll be back shortly.
A truly Nigerian company providing tangible local solutions to the nation's housing needs at a realistic and affordable cost for citizens. Brains and Hammers is on a mission to develop housing projects that the country has not witnessed since the development of Kwarimpa in the mid-90s. With the visions of developing over 3,000 housing units on a single site in Abuja, this real estate brand is determined to support Nigerians who desire decent and secure accommodations through affordable financing. The spotlight today is on Brains and Hammers City, which currently has over 200 residents occupying their homes already.
Brains and Hammers City is sitting on 117 hectares of land, which we intend to build 3,500 units. As we speak today, 1,860 are already standing, 1,200 are under construction, and then 1,200 are yet to be built. The ones under construction, we all have estimated delivery dates of end of the year. So by the end of this year, we're looking at least by the end of this year, we must have built over 2,000 homes, all across all boards, the 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and the 4 bedrooms.
Conceived as a quality self-sustaining and affordable housing project for middle and low-income earners, Brains and Hammers City flaunts an outstanding infrastructural portfolio that covers thousands of acres of land, even in the face of daunting economic challenges.
It's interesting to say that we are a single private company, funded privately. There is no government contribution or anything from the government. We built the road, which is about 3.7 kilometers. We provided all the infrastructure that we need to do. Everything is already in place. This is the first and only project, I think, that has been built by a private company in the last time there was anything like this was Gwarimpa, which was 1990. Because it's not just an estate, it's a whole city. When I say city, there's going to be a hospital, there's going to be a school, an orphanage, a bank, a shopping mall, a recreational area. There's everything. We're going to have everything. The whole idea, our president's vision was, when you leave here, you don't have to go out there to look for anything. So I think by the time this project is finished, the residents will tell you that we have everything under our roof.
Within the city, we have at about, basically we are building up at about 2,250 units of housing at the moment. What we already have on ground that people have already started living in is at about 1,494 units.
More than mere residential buildings, Brains and Hammers City is a complete trait of up-to-date infrastructure, hospitality and recreation, complete with a perfect road network. Having carved a niche for itself in the real estate sector of Nigeria as a leading brand with insight and expertise, a first choice for premium, luxury and affordable houses, Brains and Hammers restates its commitment to a continuous development and maintenance of healthy living, work and play environments across Nigeria.
One of the most prominent features of your house is your roof. Your roof will tell how old your building is. At Plus World, we pride ourselves in having the expertise and products to bring your roof back to life. While other roofing companies suggest removing the roof, we restore the roof with warranty assurance. Let Plus World Roofing recoat your old and fading roofs and make your roofs brand new. Our products are eco-friendly and completely harmless to human and the environment. We offer services that will sustain your roof's integrity and by extension, your property value. This includes roof repairs and maintenance for residential, commercial, and industrial properties. Our roof restoration solution saves you up to 70% the cost of replacing your roof. Contact Plus World Roofing today.
Welcome back. Now going forward on the program, if you shift your gaze to construction projects in Nigeria, you will see the litany of abandoned projects that fill up the country. There are lots of such projects in various states of abandonment. Housing Development Crew paid a visit to one of such in the nation's capital. Let's have a look.
A drive through the streets of Abuja, the nation's capital, will reveal a significant number of abandoned housing projects littering the landscape. Although millions of naira is allocated to housing projects in the country every year, abandonment of these projects still ensue. Report shows that most of these housing projects have been converted to criminal hideouts, illegal shotlets, and even barracks by the police force. This persistent trend galvanized the legislative arm of government to take actions by investigating all abandoned government projects from the year 1999 during the tenure of the former president Olusegun Obasanjo till today. According to the perturbed lawmakers, over 20,000 projects have been awarded in the country, and payments of not less than 50%, which amounts to billions of naira, have been made in advance. Most housing projects frequently abandoned are due to a myriad of problems ranging from litigation, whereby many lawsuits are delayed by the court, the lack of funds, issues of land ownership and titles, poor infrastructure, issues with constructors, and change of government. Here in Saraji District, Apo, the nation's capital, lies Malaysian Garden Estate, one of the numerous abandoned federal government housing projects in the country. This estate was launched by the former president Olusegun Obasanjo in 2004, but even after 15 years, still hasn't reached completion. Housing development crew paid a visit to the estate, but were denied access into the land by the security guard, who also refused to speak about the estate. But from outside where the crew stood, several people were spotted illegally occupying the houses, even in its abandonment. This estate, which holds 14,085 housing units, if completed, will provide housing for thousands of Nigerians, as the housing scheme is set to focus on 65% low-income earners, 25% middle-income earners, and 10% high-income earners. The issue of project failure and abandonment has been left unresolved for a very long time, and this has created obvious room for a multiplier effect on the construction industry as well as the entire economy. It is also a threat to the security of many Nigerians because most of these buildings have become hideouts of criminals or places to conduct criminal activities. With a country like Nigeria challenged with housing deficit and insecurity, it is important for adequate measures to be taken by the government at all levels to address the issue. If the issue of abandoned housing is properly checked, it will go a long way in delivering affordable houses to Nigerians, thereby curtailing housing deficits in the country.
We can't be talking of housing shortage while hundreds of housing projects across the country, which started several years ago, have been abandoned at various stages of completion. Something must be done, and urgently too.
Hi, I'm Bob Weinsheng, CEO of iBuild Global, and keep watching the Housing Development Program.
What is the name of my grandson?
Suleiman.
That's a good name. May the Almighty preserve him.
Amen.
Now that your family is growing, this is the time for you to start thinking of a house of your own.
Abba, the thought of this has always been on my mind. To build a house now, you need a lot of money, and that is what is holding me back.
Sani, what you need is a mortgage. NHF mortgage loan. With NHF mortgage loan, you own a house upfront and pay gradually over a long period of time.
Abba, I will go to the FMBN office right away.
Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
The program is housing development. Still on providing affordable housing for the benefit of so many Nigerians, my crew took a tour to Peachville Platinum Estate, a well-planned residential estate built with state-of-art facilities to bridge the housing deficit in the country.
Peachville Platinum Estate is the balance between innovation and tradition, exhibiting well-planned and conceived residential estates tastefully built with smart luxury living in mind to bridge the huge deficit within Nigeria's housing sector.
Pitchville was set up essentially to help with the housing deficit that we have in Nigeria, essentially to provide homes for seeming population and investment opportunities also for individuals around.
A technology-centered real estate firm that engineers smarter and more valuable homes at amazingly flattering prices. Pitchville Platinum Estate aligns with the definition of luxury from your point of view and is deliberately innovative in redefining luxury with a concept of smart home ownership that disruptively projects luxury, not just as a label, but conveyed in its real essence.
It's not enough to just say that you want to solve a problem and you put up ideas and it's just on paper. You have to physically move, make efforts, practical efforts to ensure that all of these suggestions and the blueprints are achieved or achievable, you know.
To own a home in Pitchville Estates is very easy. You have three options. Option one, which I usually tell people, which is the best option, is you go on off-plan, which you have the easiest method of paying because it's either one-off payment. You get everything from scratch. And also, in paying for option one of the things you need to understand is you have high investment returns. Another thing you also have in keying in from scratch is that you can do anything with the internal system. What do I mean by internal system? You can rearrange how you want your apartment to be. You can be more spacious and all that. So those are the basic advantages of keying in with first one. Now the second one is either you have a mortgage plan. And the mortgage plan, we have good PMIs that we've worked with and then we're still working with. And also for the third one, you have a payment plan, which is a 3 times payment plan. And what do I mean by a 3 times payment plan? It's like more of quarterly, basically, that's what I should say. You have a 40% payment plan, the first payment installment, you have another 40% second installment, and then you have the 20% installment.
With estates strategically located at different parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Pitchville, beyond raising elegantly built properties, also boasts of finishing that competes with the best of properties across the nation, alongside a 24-hour security, run by well-trained uniformed guards, enhanced by CCTV coverage around the perimeter of these estates. Also available are recreational facilities, gyms, swimming pools, and children playgrounds. If what you seek is security, comfort, and a luxurious environment that complements your high taste, then Pitchville Platinum Estate is it.
My name's Robert Hornsby with American Home Builders of West Africa. Keep watching Housing Development Program.
This show has been amazing. I would say that I've actually learned a lot and networked with a whole lot of real estate developers out there. So it's been insightful so far. Like, I'm really overwhelmed. Really overwhelmed. I've learned a lot.
We must thank Abuja Housing Show for giving us this opportunity. And we are so pleased to interact with the people in the audience here. They are showing a lot of interest and curiosity. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
I am so particularly impressed by the content of delivery. First and foremost, the awareness, the publicity. Prior to this time, I have 3-4 partners who have called me to remind me that they have seen adverts of Abuja International Show on television, on news media. Am I going to be here? I was really amazed that if people are not in the sector are so aware of this, then the organizers of the event must have done a lot to get people's attention, and that's quite a commendable feat.
Abuja Housing Show is a very productive event. You come around here to meet over 50,000 persons. It's been very productive. I mean, since we started coming here, there has been a greater brand awareness, and you meet the corporate world, you meet the public, you meet the masses, and then you do business in a great way and in a special way. I think that's part of the reason why we're here.
Very impressive. Absolutely impressive.
Every year, this exhibition keeps growing bigger, greater attendance, global attendance, and this is an improvement of the very excellent one we had last year also.
Thank you so much for letting me into your homes and offices. For want of time, this is where I'll be wrapping up today's episode of Housing Development. Thanks for watching. I remain Flora Annie, your housing diva. Do stay safe out there.